Are you interested in playing the new game Palia, but you're not quite sure if it's for you? I'm going to be going over all of my first impressions in the first 2 hours of me playing Palia. Now, before I get into this video, I know there's probably going to be some people saying,
well, you've only played it for 2 hours, that's really not long enough to get a real impression.
And that's fine, that's valid, but I personally feel like it's enough to kind of gauge whether or not it's gonna be a game that I enjoy. And with that being said, let's get into the video. So first off, I would just like to say that I have been so excited for Palia. My expectations were honestly probably too high for this game. I expected an MMO to actually have a lot of players online. Well, as you can see, today is the day that beta testing officially became open. It is August 10th. I know that there are thousands of people playing because it says that during the loading screen. However, I have been running now for at least 30 seconds and I haven't run into one person yet. This is definitely not what I would consider an MMO by any means. And if you ever do run into people, most of the time they're NPCs, as you can see. Another thing too about this game, and this is just my personal taste, I feel like if a game doesn't have any combat like Palia, it needs to be really attention-grabbing, like within the first 5 minutes of gameplay. And I'm not talking about like the character customization, which I will also get into. I'm just saying the actual gameplay needs to be interesting. And I just don't really feel like this one does it for me. It's a lot of reading, so if you're not into reading, then you probably won't really like this game. But if you are into storyline questing, then it may be the right game for you. I truly tried to read some of it, but I was like, okay, this is taking too long and it's not really grabbing my attention, so I'm just gonna skip it. They definitely could have made it a little bit more interesting story-wise by putting voiced dialogue in the game. Now, I know that that would mean that they would probably have to hire voice actors, and that would be like a whole other thing that they added to the game, but really, truly, I do feel like that can capture people's attention more than just reading it the entire time. One thing that this game does have going for it is that it's really pretty. Like, the graphics are beautiful. It looks like there's a lot of areas to explore, yet again, it feels empty because it's kind of lacking that MMO experience. For me, I personally feel like this game is kind of lacking in gameplay. As you can see on the side, it has all of the lists of quests for me to do. For example, obtain the recipe for a basic sawmill from Ashura. I look on my map and I genuinely, I have no idea where he is. I don't feel like it's terribly difficult to understand. Like, I'm sure I could eventually figure it out, but it's not easy to understand, whereas games like Dreamlight Valley are so simple that I personally find them more enjoyable. Whereas with this game, I'm kind of just left running around, not really knowing what to do. This is another thing too, and I'm just going to assume that this is because we are in beta still, but anytime that you are trying to teleport to and from your house, you are stuck on this loading screen for about 5 minutes, as you can see, where it has the number of Palians ahead of you. This goes down pretty slowly, and it does not really make for fun gameplay, especially if you're just needing to teleport home really quick for a quest or to put some stuff in your inventory. This is not it. It says that we have 1,400 Palians ahead of us, but where are those people in game? Like, where are those players in game? This is just me nitpicking, and maybe they will be added eventually because this is only open beta, but I wish there were mounts in this game as well. You can only return to your housing plot every 30 minutes. Otherwise, you have to run there, which is not so fun. Another thing that I kind of find disappointing was the character creation screen. It definitely was lacking with hairstyles. And honestly, it was just kind of lacking in general. I'm happy with how she looks given with the limited options that I have, but it definitely would have been nice to have more options because I think there were literally only like 8 faces. You also can't swim. You'll drown, so okay. Decorating is also a huge part of this game, and you can't even interact with furniture. At the end of the day though, this game really truly is beautiful. Like, that is a major pro. I also appreciate that it's free, but it kind of feels like a Catfish of an MMO. I'm trying not to be too judgmental though, because I know it's still in beta, so I hope that with time this game will get better, and I hope that we'll actually be able to see players, but this should all be filled with people. Like, I know that there's thousands of people online, and I don't see any. Apparently each server only has a 25 player server cap. That does not feel like an MMO to me. With my 2 hours of gameplay, if I had to rate this game on a scale of 1 to 10, I think I would give this game a 5 because I know it's still in beta and I know that it's not fully done yet. But to me, it's really just not captivating and I find it to be kind of boring. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a big thumbs up and a comment down below. Bye!